know what I'm saying? Um, when you look back at it, Tennessee was one of the teams that was always like in contention, even under Jeff Fisher. You know what I'm saying? Made to Super Bowl. They got a rich history. Actually, I'm a low key Titans fan. You know what I'm saying? Like other than the Lions, obviously, but it's they got some lean years. I thought that who was the coach they just fired? Man, I can't think his name on top of my head.
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, Vrabel. Yeah, Vrabel. Damn good coach. I like Mike Vrabel, but his time had passed. You could tell it was time. It was the beginning of the day. It made the playoffs. Won the division. A couple times under him. So,
But he's another guy that never was able to solve the quarterback position as being a head coach. He ended up everything got stale for them. You can only
well, I
play
think
really
Derrick
good
Henry
defense for so
was.
long, and yeah, their
Yeah,
identity was built around a running back too.
so much. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, so
Yeah,
heavily around him. Where, like you said, it was almost like they just went in games just saying we just gonna run the ball and just whatever else happened pretty much and let our defense,
and it
bring it
worked. I
home.
mean, when you
Yeah,
when you got a dude like Derrick Henry, imagine Derrick Henry at 21 years old,
yeah.
22 years old. So yeah, it worked, but they're going through. Well, no, they worse off right now than San Francisco is. But I think Frisco's starting to realize too that when you're built completely around a running back, it kind of makes everything else offensively awkward and stale, especially if you never get that quarterback. Tennessee didn't. They thought Ryan Tannehill was going to be that guy after they got him from the Dolphins. That never really worked out. Tannehill kind of plateaued as a quarterback. Remember when they had Jake Locker?
Yeah, Jake Locker, yeah, from
And
Washington,
Locker
right?
retired early. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's almost like you said, it's the changing of the guard in the NFL, man. It just seemed like the teams in this year shows that Tennessee was a good team. They only we'll talk about their roster a little bit. I mean, they were good, like a playoff team. Now they're kind of rebuilding, kind of trying to find themselves now. Um, you got the
What
49ers
up, Rob?
struggling a little bit. Kansas City's been really the only constant. You know what I'm saying? You got the up and coming Lions, you got the
Yeah.
Falcons, you got the Eagles that become stale right now. You know what I'm saying? Buffalo still hanging on by a thread. You know what I'm saying? It's like these teams are in transition because you get into a window with certain players, especially if you got a superstar player. I think when once you get a superstar at whatever, especially on offense, I think, man, the window is real short for you to win at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like DeAndre Hopkins, we were talking on the pre-show. It was like, man, DeAndre Hopkins paid his dues with the Cardinals, and he came to Tennessee, uh, breath of fresh air. And then it was like they draft Will Levis, and it's like Will Levis ain't the guy, man. At least not this year. Maybe Will Levis need if it was a G League for quarterbacks to play for about 4 weeks and come back, maybe he might be. You know what I mean? I was Jake.
You saying he the
Me.
Bronny James of quarterbacks?
Yeah, he needs some help, man. He need. He ripped up. I
Yeah.
mean, he physically a specimen, dude. But he just, I don't know what it is, like because it's almost
Dude,
like
you know what it is, bro? His vision. And Coach Hugh Jackson actually told me this a while ago. Like a lot of these quarterbacks, some guys are really good
yeah, what's
between
up,
the
Chris? What's
20s.
up, Kendall? Yeah,
And when they get into the red zone, everything gets congested. The
yeah,
windows are completely shrinked. Now you have to make quicker decisions. You have to have enough arm strength to make the tight window throws. A lot of these dudes can't do it. Will Levis is different. Like Will Levis is good between 10 to 12 yards, bro. And then like
uh-huh.
after that, any type of coverage is like, and they discussed this before the draft. They said that he tested so well, intelligent wise on the Wonderlic and all these other things, and he could get on the blackboard and he knew exactly how to draw up plays and what was supposed to happen here and there. But it never translated to the field at Kentucky. It never translated to the field when he was at Penn State. And I forgot the dude he lost his job to at Penn State, but he lost his job to a dude at Penn State who didn't even get drafted ultimately.
Was it
But
Clifford? Was
it just
Sean
never,
Clifford?
yeah.
Yeah.
It might have been Clifford. Well, Penn State had was it Hackenberg? It might have been Christian Hackenberg, if I'm not mistaken. Well, it was one of them. Another one of those Pennsylvania washouts. But
Hmm.
no, he's it's never translated to the field for him, man. The mental mistakes you pointed out a few weeks ago, like the blunders mentally he has, and
Oh
to keep
man,
making those types of mistakes,
it
like he's
drive me
not learning
crazy.
from them. It's not the fact that you making them; it's the fact that you're not learning from them. And I understand offensively, and we're going to indirectly get into this game now, but offensively, they haven't been doing them much justice either, offensive line wise. Like they've given up a ton of pressures. He out hurt right now, but
Yeah,
that doesn't excuse the poor decisions Will Levis makes. And if you look at them defensively, I mean, when you're on the field as much as they're on the field because your offense can't withstand any drives,
yeah,
that's why they're as bad as they are defensively.
yeah.
They're dead last right now in defending the pass.
They got two receiving touchdowns this year, man. Two. You know what I mean? DeAndre Hopkins had one. He's gone. You know what I mean? Calvin Ridley's the other one. Calvin Ridley is a guy I wanted, by the way. In free agency, I think Calvin Ridley can ball, man. I think he talked the talk and he ready to go. That's one guy they got on their roster that like probably is probably killing them. That he's actually on a team where he's not getting no production. I think Walt for the season, 12 catches, 183 yards, one touchdown. That's pathetic. You know what I mean? It's pedestrian. You got Tyler
Oh,
Boyd, another
Ridley's
guy.
sick.
Yeah, no
Ridley's
touchdowns,
sick, boy. But he took the
18
money.
catches. Yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
the thing about it, man. When it comes to these wide receivers, I can't really feel bad for you because when you, as a wide receiver, make a decision in free agency, you have to make it based off of, well, at least factor in the fact that you have a young quarterback who's
mm-hmm.
still, and you want the money, and I get it, but you gotta sometimes accept what comes along with that, man. And really stuck right now. You went from Trevor Lawrence, who isn't really great or even good right now at all, or even average for that matter, and now you're playing
Yeah,
with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, man, it's tough sledding for Tennessee, and they do have what's up, Mike? What's up, Ralphie? They got some talent. But it just because it comes at a point in time when I think a team checks out of a season. I believe that. I think the Titans are checked out already. I think they got no that I don't believe they got any chance to win this game tomorrow. I mean I don't want to disrespect you. Probably Tennessee fans probably gonna go off and they might feel the same. You never know, but um I mean, the Lions could try some new things. That's why in our bet segment, I got Tim Patrick. I think he's going to have a big game. I think this is a game. Ben Johnson's cocky enough where he's going to try some new stuff, man. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Tim Patrick, have a big game. Get some balls thrown his way. Try some new things, some new formations. Um, unless Jared Goff goes out there and throw 4 picks and something, or a pick 6 or something like that. I just don't see anything, Tennessee could do. Now, I think it could be a game where over and under, 45. You could say that maybe the Lions could get baited into playing a high scoring game with this team. But I don't even know if they can even control. Like you say, even if Mason Rudolph starts the game, which I don't know
Yeah,
on
how are
top of
they
my
gonna
head.
score?
Yeah, I don't see because Pollard, damn good back, but I don't know, man, if he can be able to penetrate through our defense and get anything done that way. You know what I'm saying? And I think either one of those quarterbacks, if they try to go back and throw the ball, I just think we're just going to play center field and make them make a mistake. I mean, I think our defense, our secondary especially, is that good where we force other quarterbacks just to we wait on you to make the mistake. And I think that Tennessee will do it. They damn sure will do it with Will Levis. You know what I'm saying? So 11 and a half, that's just total disrespect. I told you, whenever you see a double digit point spread, that's total disrespect to me. I mean, the Lions were on a lot of into a lot of those when they weren't good, when they were 12-point underdogs to the Packers in Lambeau, stuff like that. This is the same thing with Tennessee. I just don't think they got any chance to win. The Lions have never beaten the Titans, since they became Tennessee, I think since 2001. So, 0-6, so that you can chalk this one up. I just think Lions going to win this game hands down, with no pushback to me. There's some players I do like. I don't want to go out like Kenneth Murray. I look at Kenneth Murray at linebacker, damn good linebacker. I liked him coming out of Oklahoma. He played with the Chargers for a couple years. Wound up on Tennessee's roster. That's a guy, he gonna bring it every week. Jeffrey Simmons. We did shows on Jeffrey Simmons, but I
Yeah.
don't know how much him, Tavonde Sweat. I don't know. He's a rookie from Texas, but I don't know if this is the year that they can really make an impact and save the game for Tennessee. I think there's so many problems offensively. I think that even if they played a damn near flawless game, get 5 sacks, a couple. I don't even think that still be enough to win right now. What, they're 1-5 right now, so it's tough sledding for Tennessee right now.
Yeah, and put yourself in the shoes of being a first time NFL head coach and being in
Yeah,
the situation in Tennessee right now where
yeah,
you're going from a complete culture shift in Mike Vrabel, a guy who was one of the winningest coaches. Right. Well, actually, no, he was actually, I mean, was he? He had a better record there over Jeff
yeah.
Fisher. But Jeff
Yeah,
Fisher
Mike.
did make a Super Bowl. Yeah. Fisher did get them to a Super Bowl, but overall, yeah, you lose your identity and you
Mm-hmm.
lose Derrick Henry all in the same offseason. You know,
Yeah,
you don't have a quarterback. At that point in time, you're still trying to figure out whether or not you want to keep Will Levis or Malik Willis. You invested the second round pick in Levis. So Willis, a guy who was drafted later, he moves on to Green Bay. He's in a better situation right now. He looks like a capable backup for the Green Bay Packers. And if you look at it
yeah,
from a skill set wise, another guy athletic that can get out and move outside the pocket with a big arm. So Jordan Love goes out, Malik Willis comes in. They don't have to adjust the things a whole lot offensively because they got a
yeah,
backup whose skill set wise is very similar. Not to say that he's better than Love because he's not, but they're very similar skill set wise.
yeah,
Tennessee is just in a rough situation right now. And this is the type of situation where first time head coaches get fired after 1 year.
yeah. Brian Callahan just
Justified or not. That's
yeah,
why we discuss this about Ben Johnson constantly. Dude is picky and he should be super picky because you don't want to get out there as a first time head coach and tie yourself to a terrible situation with a
yeah,
bad organization, an unresolved quarterback situation. Because if you don't have a quarterback, you're forced to pretty much build the entire team flawlessly from top to bottom. And that
yeah,
still only puts you pretty much in the 9 to maybe 11 win range. And that's only if you got a capable backup quarterback like a veteran that can lead that team. So yeah,
hmm,
I like the Tennessee Titans roster overall. I think they've done a good job the past 2, 3 drafts. Well, past two
yeah,
drafts, getting some
yeah,
guys in there. But guys like Kevin Byard also, he was an identity guy for them. He left 2 years ago. Well, was it last
yeah.
year when he went to the Eagles? Matter of fact. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
went to the Eagles. He in
we're
Chicago
we're
now.
at a point in time now where the pendulum has slipped. I mean, has shifted.
Hmm.
So we're the best
Yeah,
team, and
yeah,
these
right.
teams aren't. And we're supposed to beat up on these types of teams.
Yeah, and then you look at Mike Vrabel as head coach. I think he had 54 career wins, 2-2 in the playoffs, won the division a couple of times. It was Mike
Mm,
Malarkey before him, 20-21
yep.
record. Remember Ken Wisenhunt? What the heck happened to Ken Wisenhunt? He was 3-20 as head coach
Remember, he
for
was
the
the hot
Titans.
name though.
Yeah,
He was that
he
hot. He
off
was
the
the hot
face of the
name
earth
that
right
off
now.
season.
Yep,
Yeah.
Mike Munchak, 22-26, and that was after Jeff Fisher, who all-time wins. He leads in all-time wins. Jeff Fisher, and that 142 wins as head coach.
Gotcha.
So,
Yep.
yeah, like you said, it's a culture shift for sure for Tennessee. Like you said, I've always been a Tennessee Titans fan. I think they've always done it right, but um, they've had an identity just by just running. I thought I always grouped them in with the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Ravens obviously won Super Bowls, so they have a little bit more richer history than the Titans. But
Yeah.
since they been in the league, the Eddie George days, like you said with Jeff Fisher, they
Chris
Derek
Johnson.
Mason. Yep, Derek Mason was a guy knew him. You know what I'm saying? Can't from the hood. So and they've had players that you can relate to and say, man, I can latch on to this team. But man, they
It's
like I
always
said,
been a running back though.
yeah, yeah,
Think about it. It's always been a running back. You said it was Eddie George for years,
yeah,
former Heisman Trophy winner, Chris Johnson, Derrick
mhm,
Henry.
yeah,
I mean, a good 20 plus years of their identity was tied up in running backs. And once you get past Warren Moon, because now we're talking about the Houston Oilers, Tennessee Titans organization as a whole,
hmm,
it was Warren Moon. You had Vince Young, who washed out. I believe he was
yeah,
rookie of the year when he came in, and then Steve McNair. Steve
yeah,
McNair was the greatest player in that franchise's history, being
yeah.
honest
Rest in
about it.
peace. Yeah,
And he
yeah,
got you,
yeah,
yeah, rest in peace. He got you to a Super Bowl, but they've struggled. And he left and went to Baltimore, but they've struggled to replace that. They've had a long list of bad quarterback play
yeah.
after,
That's right.
McNair left. So, and this goes back to what we always discuss. If you can't solve the quarterback position, you gonna be a perennial 9-win, 10-win team tops, winning
Not
with tough,
even that.
hard nosed, right? Tough, hard nosed defense, timely takeaways, and you can only depend on winning games with that formula for so long. So, like I said, I like Tennessee. They got some pretty good young players over there. Like I said, Jeffrey Simmons is a complete beast. He was a guy that before he signed his
Mhm.
extension,
Oh
we were
man,
kind of pounded the table for him. We actually did a video on Jeffrey Simmons last season. But
yeah, yo.
yeah, they're
I
they're
mean, I'm
just in a
looking at.
situation right now where they can't do it. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna say they can't do it because anything can happen on any given Sunday, but the 11 and a half, usually I don't advise you to take that 11 and a half on the home team at home, but
Yeah,
I don't see any way where we don't cover 11 and a half or 12 points. I think we beat this team by at least 17 because you have to score points at some point in time. How are they supposed to score?
yeah,
Like, unless we turn the ball over, have a bunch of goofy ass plays,
yeah.
strip
That's what I'm
sacks,
saying.
fumble returns on kick returns and stuff like
Yep,
that.
or a touchdown. Like I said, pick six. You'd have to get a pick six in this game if you Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Or like you say, a scoop and score, that type of thing. For it to change in your favor. Just hit on the excuse me, talent wise. Harold Landry is another guy. Sack machine. They got Jerome Baker from Seattle at linebacker. Who was from Seattle. They got him.
Is he
Kenneth
playing
Murray.
today?
Yeah, he's not on the injury report. Yeah, he's not on the injury report at all. At least on my end. They did draft. They did sign, not draft. They signed L'Jarius Sneed. That was a big pickup for them.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know. I
yeah.
mean, he took the money. Obviously, Sneed took the money. You know what I'm saying? Rightfully so. He should be compensated. You know what I'm saying, for being a great corner, but. He's been non-existent. I remember they had their opening game. I think Tennessee played the Bears this year, and I mean, he had an impact on that game. I remember it. And it was just Will Levis, just ridiculous interceptions and just turning the ball over is the reason why they didn't. They should have won opening game against the Bears. Should have two wins instead of one. But um, the defense, you go from them. You go Jeffrey Simmons. You got Harold Landry. You got Jerome Baker. You got Kenneth Murray. Right. Then you go they drafted Jarvis Brownlee Jr. from Louisville, guy I was high on in the later
Yeah.
rounds. Monty Hooker at safety. They got Quandre Diggs at safety. So this team has got some. That Sebastian Joseph Day. They got some talent on this team, like you said, man. The roster, then the offensive, they got Peter Skronsky. Remember at offense, he plays left guard from Northwestern. Remember we was kind of doing a show on him a couple years ago. I think he's in his second year now.
Yeah.
The offensive line's not that great. Cushionberry at center. I mean, I don't know if that strikes fear in anybody right now. And then obviously
Well,
with the wide
they've
receiver,
invested though. I'm not sure
yeah,
exactly what the tackles doing right now that they drafted in the first round out of Alabama. If there's any Titan fans listening, y'all can chime in the comment section, let us know. But they've invested a lot in that offensive line though. So they've tried. It's just their first time head coach, bad quarterback play, culture shift. You're
yeah,
one of those franchises just kind of floating. Like them and the Colts are like very similar. And
hmm,
the Colts invested a high pick, a top 5 pick in Anthony Richardson. At the moment, he's not developing at the rate that the team is. That
Yeah,
team should be a lot better right now if they had better quarterback play.
yeah.
And
J.C.
I'm a
Latham.
huge Anthony Richardson fan. Yeah, J.C. Latham.
I couldn't think of it. Yeah. Yeah, like you said, he's starting. I mean, so he's in there, left tackle, he's starting. So, he's got to be making some type of impact. But like you said, if somebody a little bit closer to the Tennessee situation than we are, interject on JC Latham. But well, like I said, well, we get into this, this game this week. As far as our end goes, the Lions, coming off of the second game without Aiden Hutchinson. You coming off a couple good wins, man. You know what I'm saying, in the division. You beat Minnesota, did what we did to the Cowboy. We just on a good run right now, playing some good dominant football, man. You want to obviously keep that going, you know what I'm saying, and the team you should beat, you 11.5 point favorites. Um I I'm in a I think I'm go with you as far as the 11.5. I think the Lions will win this game by more than 12 by 12. I'm looking at maybe let me see. I've been trying to hit it right. I'll say 30-16, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Around 28-13, something like that. I don't see the Titans scoring very many points. You know what I'm saying? If they do, it'll be because they maybe got a turnover or something to add on to it, you know. But like
I'm
you
gonna
said,
be super disrespectful.
yeah, because
I'm gonna
like I
be
said, I
super
don't think
disrespectful.
nobody would,
I don't
right?
see
I
how
don't
they
know.
crack 10 points, bro. I
Yeah.
don't see how, like, and listen, as much as people came down on the pass rush last week, oh, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. The defensive line still got 4 sacks and they still got 27 tackles. With the defensive line alone, they got 27 tackles and 4 sacks. So while everybody's focusing on what's going on the edge, we're still getting pressure.
Yeah.
4 sacks and 27 tackles ain't bad at all. I just don't see how, considering what's going on in Tennessee right now,
Hmm.
and losing your best receiver or trading away your best receiver and not being able to run the football, and your defense is tired because they're on the field so much because the offense can't withstand drives, and you're top 5 in the league in turnovers, and you really don't have any identity offensively. Calvin really can't get open because all the focus is on him now because there's no DeAndre Hopkins. Like, it's a snowball effect for things right now for Tennessee. I just don't see how things work out for them here today. As much as I do like the Tennessee Titans, I like what they're doing with the young youth movement they got going on.
Hmm.
They just running into a buzzsaw right now. This team just won 2 big games on the road. They're back home right now. They're comfortable. They're about to hit that home stretch where they're gonna play a bunch of games at home, second half of the season. They're gonna get healthy.
Yeah.
There's too much going in our favor right now. Right now, I got 38-9. I think they can probably put up 3 field goals. I don't see how, whether it's Mason Rudolph, I don't care if it's Will Levis, it's not happening. I think this is one of those games where we really show people, okay, you know what, they not playing around with
Hmm.
Tennessee. They got Tennessee out there and they buried them. So I would
Hmm.
say they blow that 11.5 points out the water.
Yeah.
Uh, Over under, you're talking about the 45 points. So yeah, that we damn near cover the 45, I think, by ourselves.
Yeah.
What do you think
Yeah.
about the money line on this for either
Yeah.
side?
The
Like,
money
what's your
line. Yeah.
advice on it?
Yeah. You could say, you could put the money, you could put some money on Tennessee and what is plus 470, you know what I mean? So that would be a good get if if they got lucky and win the game, but it's nothing there. You know what I'm saying? The money line is nothing there. The money's on the line to win the game. You know what I'm saying? That's
You
nothing. The
damn right.
money line is nothing on this game. So yeah,
All right,
when you
man.
look
Let's
at it,
keep this moving.
yeah.
You want to
Yep.
jump to the next couple games
Yeah, let's do that. And then no, you know what? Let's do the
or to
anytime.
do the
Let's do the
prop bets?
bets. Yeah, let's do the prop bets
For sure.
first since we still talking about the lines. Okay. Jared Goff, 250 yards passing, 250 over 250 yards, plus 125. Tim Patrick, anytime score plus 155. And then Montgomery over 70 yards rushing, plus 175. If I had to rank these prop bets right here, I would say number one, definitely Montgomery. I think the fumble has no effect of this week. I think he'll come out with a man possessed this week. 70 yards is a little disrespectful. Is it going to be hard for him to get 70 yards? Maybe because of the rush defense on the other side. I mean, Jeffrey Simmons and those guys can't play. They're going to play with some pride, so they're not just going to be a turnstile out there. But I could see Montgomery damn near getting 70 yards in the first half in this game. So I would definitely take the plus 175. I'll let you speak on these two. The second one would be Jared Goff to me. I think Jared Goff was gonna have. I think you're gonna have a big game, man. Regardless of Snead being out there, what I mean, their secondary. I just think they'll be able to do whatever they want this week, through the air. And Goff hasn't had, one of those signature 300-yard games yet. I mean, I feel like Goff's gonna have 300 yards passing in this game, so that's why I took that one, 125. And then Tim
Yep.
Patrick. Tim Patrick, Walt is a guy who's been last week I don't think he caught a pass last week, maybe one, I think. But he's been a guy who's been Goff's been looking for him. I think
Yep.
they're gonna spring him open this week. I think this is week he finally gets in the end zone, man, and really supplants himself as a third receiver on this team. You know what I'm saying? And really,
I
he's
agree.
been a pleasant surprise. I thought Tim Patrick, obviously with the injury thing like Davenport, we was like, man, we ain't expecting much. He's always hurt, but
He's damn near like having another tight end out there
yeah, big
that,
body, yeah,
that can get
blocks,
downfield and that can run a little bit. Yeah.
yeah. So that's how I feel. Walt, you can interject
No,
your
I agree.
these
I
games.
agree. I think when you're looking at Tim Patrick, the plus win 155 anytime score, you're going against the Titans defense right now that's 32nd in the league against the pass. Now, a lot of that is the fact that they're on the field for so much.
Yeah,
But Tim Patrick against those corners, the lack of size they have out there, the fact that teams will attack them and have attacked them, I would definitely take that. Montgomery 70 plus rushing yards plus 175. They're what third, I think, bottom half in the league in time of possession defensively.
yeah,
So what do we like to do? Beat
yeah,
you up. We're gonna
yeah,
beat you up. I think this team continues to stay true to who they are, identity wise.
yeah,
We're talking about probably closing in on 200 plus rushing yards this
yeah,
game. I think it's going to be one of those types of games where Montgomery and Gibbs both have monster games, which means the play action opens up. No, it's not going to open up for Jameson Williams, and I hate the fact that he wasn't out there tonight. I mean, to
yeah.
this
Because he
to
could
this
have
week,
ate in this game. Yeah,
he could have, yes, he could have really ate in this game. But Tim Patrick will, I think Khalif Raymond's going to have an impact.
yeah,
St. Brown in the slot, they've struggled against slot receivers all season. Well, is the entire recipe is a recipe for us to have a big time fantasy game this week
yeah.
for
Sam
fans out
Laporta.
there, man.
You know
Y'all
what I'm
can really
saying?
make some money this week for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Broken
Yep.
Tubin's right. Yeah, we almost had that defensive touchdown. I want that defensive touchdown, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have it on there this week, but I feel you on that. This is a good candidate for a pick six or something like that.
No,
But
no, Broken Tubin got a question for you.
no, do not put 400 on Patrick. No, 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 no. Don't do that. That's the Cardinal money, man. Don't do that. Don't put that on
I
Tim
don't.
Patrick.
Well, I mean, he could.
Yeah, if he could though. I mean, for me, I mean, I feel real comfortable, saying it this week with him because you could just see it constantly, gradually he's been working himself into the
Yeah,
offense. You know what I'm saying? And Ben Johnson, y'all know he a mad scientist, man. Right now, he just trying everything, and I think this is a game where you try different stuff. You know what I mean? You try some new things, and I think Patrick may get his shot, to get in the end zone. So. Yeah, I
yeah.
like that. I like that connection, golf to Patrick right now. I think that we see something there with that. So later, I think the quicker we get them in rhythm, the more beneficial it's going to be. Towards the end of the season, I just think this team gonna be a juggernaut to deal with, man. At the end of the season, so yeah. Yep, yep. And then Jared Goff. I mean, let's be honest. Like you said, man, passing defense. they're one of the bottom half of the league. Jared Goff, I want to see him get, run up 320 on this team. You know what I'm saying? 2 touchdowns, maybe 3 touchdowns, 320, no picks, clean game. You know what I'm saying? Just get out of there with a win, basically. So,
Definitely. All right, let's move on to these bonus games, man. We got Buffalo at Seattle. Looking
yeah,
at Bills -3 on the road. Over under 46. Money line -162. Buffalo +136. Seattle. That's damn near as close as you're gonna see it for a 3-point spread.
yeah, yep,
Um, I don't like I oh man. Now this is interesting because
yes,
Seattle does have the secondary.
yeah, yep,
And they do have the front seven to get after Buffalo offensively. Now,
yeah,
what does Josh Allen do against that secondary? And what is their offensive approach? I personally think they'd be better off running the football a ton this game against that Seattle defense. You're talking
yeah,
about you're going to be tempted with guys like Amari Cooper and Keon Coleman, a couple
yeah,
tight ends they got over there to really test that
yeah,
Seattle Seahawks defense. You got to be opportunistic when you do it, and you got to make sure you cash in for sure. Now, Seattle, Kenneth Walker, I'm not sure about the Seattle Seahawks injury report right now, but they have the ability to run the football on Buffalo. So what do they
yes,
do?
yes,
What do they
yep,
do? Or do they feel like they have the advantage against that Buffalo Bills secondary right now? Which offensively, with guys like Metcalf and Lockett and Jigba, you have your advantages. This has the opportunity, I think, at 46 points they got right now to be an over. I think it's going
yep,
to be an over. I think there's
me
too
too.
much talent offensively out there. There's too much defensive talent. We could see a defensive touchdown or two in this game. I think this is going to be one of those most entertaining, wildest games of the weekend. I'm
Yep.
more willing to take Seattle to cover that 3 points in this. I think Seattle wins outright, honestly.
Yeah, you think they read all right? Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I'm going a little different, bro. I like everything you said. I would take the over. I think Amari Cooper, man, just like Kansas City getting Hopkins, I think that's exactly what Buffalo needed, man. Another just a guy that's a
That
route
boy got some
runner.
matchups out there, man.
Yeah,
At
I,
corner.
yeah, they do. They do. And in Seattle, my squad too, as far as they secondary. I love the secondary. I think Buffalo wins the game, though. I think they go in there. I believe in Buffalo, man. I do. I think Josh playing on a different level right now. Only thing I could say is Josh hasn't turned the ball over. He has 0 interceptions this year.
Correct.
So yeah, if he finds this game to throw one or two, then he's gonna be in trouble. I think Seattle will win, but I'm gonna go with Buffalo just to be different from you. And I think it's gonna be a field goal game. I think Baltimore. I'm saying Baltimore. Buffalo wins. Like a walk-off win type thing. I'm gonna say like 20. I'm gonna say 30-27, something like that. I like Buffalo, but like you said, I can see Seattle winning just for the points you just said. I would have said the same thing, but I like the
Well, we
the
got it
mix with
close. We ain't
yeah,
we ain't too off. I got 30-24 Seattle.
I like the balance, just what you said, man, with Buffalo with James Cook, with Dalton Kincaid. I like the Mari Cooper in the mix with them guys with that Shakir. I like
Yep.
this team, man. I really do. Their defense is not the problem in Buffalo. I just think that it's just they've had it for the last. I think they're hanging on to this last hurrah, this regime, this coach. This is the last chance I think for Josh Allen, and I think I think they're going to be forced down the stretch here. I really do. I think I like Buffalo. So
All
over.
right. All
Yeah,
right, man. This ain't what we thought we were gonna get during the
yeah,
offseason. You talking about, was it week 7 right now?
yeah,
Cowboys 49ers. I think we all expected both of these teams to be more competitive. They've had their issues with injuries and players underperforming, things kind of going stale for some of these, well, both of these teams for that matter.
yeah,
You and I kind of predicted this for San Francisco. You only get so many bites at the apple. Not to say that Frisco is just completely washed and done and can't come back next season better or even be better towards the end of this season, but
yeah,
I think they kind of plateaued. Detroit is still ascending. Philadelphia is still collecting talent, but they're, as a team, they've kind of plateaued. They're winning
yeah,
games based off pretty much the talent they have, not the scheme, not the culture. It's just the talent that's doing it for them right now. But you're looking at Dallas and San Francisco, man. I didn't expect it to be this bad.
Yeah.
Frisco, they done lost two of their offensive best players. Injuries. I doubt if McCaffrey comes back. And if this team keeps on losing, what reason is for him to come back as a running back?
Yeah.
Brandon
There's no
Ayuk's
reason to
out.
rush.
Debo's always out. George Kittle's your best. If we being honest, George Kittle's their best offensive player, even when all of those dudes are out there. I
Yeah.
just never understood how you don't make George Kittle the focal point of your offense. Can you imagine if, and as much as I love Sam Laporta, can you imagine if we had a big explosive tight end like George Kittle?
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
Kittle outruns cornerbacks. Kittle's, and they're both Iowa boys, but Frisco's going through some stuff right now. Definitely, and so is Dallas. Dallas isn't even without. They're always
Yeah.
going through something with Jerry Jones. This is one of those weird games, man, where Dallas probably should go into San Francisco and win, but they probably won't.
Yeah.
I would
I
take
don't think
San
so.
Francisco to cover that. I Can Dallas go there and lose by a field goal?
Um.
Because Frisco
Yeah.
just isn't that good right now to really blow them out. They're not good enough to blow Dallas out, I don't think. And Dallas isn't good right now. But I do think Frisco will win the game. It's just hard to
Yeah.
think about that 3 points.
Yeah. Yep. That force was got you. You know what I'm saying? Got you captivated at 4 points. You see how Vegas do it to us? They got us
Because I can see
captivated
Dallas losing by a field goal
by a field goal. Yeah. I
or
think
winning by a
49ers,
field goal.
they got more talent. Obviously San Fran does, especially on defense, man. I just think this is another loss. You know what I'm saying? I just watched
That's
Dallas
terrible.
go and just get trucked by the Lions. What did the opening game of the season? They barely beat Cleveland, I think, on the road. The first week of the season. I don't know. I think the 49ers hung in there against Kansas City last week. They lost by 10 at home, but I thought it was a
Yeah.
valiant effort for given the fact that what had happened to Ayuk. It's a shock, man, when you see one of your players go down, you know what I'm saying, and it's not good, and you underhanded, Leandro Lenore had an interception. The secondary's playing all right in San Francisco. I think they got enough defensively where they can win this game. Like you said, I don't expect much out of the Cowboys. I've totally lost faith in anything they're doing right now. They'd have to show me and go in there and win. I don't think the Cowboys can do it. I don't think Dak Prescott's mentally stable to even do it, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? They do got CD Lamb. They got the best receiver on the field in this game. But man, I would just take the ability to run the football still. The 49ers can run it with Guriendo and the other young man. I can't think his name on top of my head, but they do have more in the running game, Walt, to me. I always look to that. If I know uh if I'm looking at any team and what the advantage is, I always look to the run game. And I think San Francisco can run the ball better than the Cowboys. I think that's what at least Brock Purdy can sit back and hand the ball. He hasn't been great either. I think he needs everything to be around him, but he does have the best tight end on the field. You know what I'm saying? They got CeeDee Lamb, they got George Kittle. I like Kittle being in a short yardage situation, but Kittle can take it to the house low key though. You know what I'm saying? You can give it to him in a slant
Exactly.
and he'll take it and go, man, and stiff arm everybody on the way to the end zone. So I'm
What is
going
Dallas
Niners.
right now? Two and
Uh,
four,
I think the Cowboys are what 3-3, if I'm not
3 and
mistaken.
3.
Yeah, and I think
I'm not sure how many straight games. I need to check the
yeah,
Cowboy 49
I'm
history,
gonna
but
look
I'm not
right
sure
quick.
how many straight games they lost to Frisco. But Frisco in the games that they've beaten Dallas recently have been obviously the better football team. If you look at Dallas, not for Dallas, if you look at Frisco right now, they're hurt. They're right for the taking. If you're Dallas and you're Dak Prescott and you've had the House of Horrors in San Francisco that you've had for the last 2, 3 times you've been there, if you
Uh-huh.
couldn't beat Frisco then and you can't beat them tomorrow in their current condition, when the hell are you going to beat them? I think this is a gut check game for Dallas. Honestly, it's a gut check game for Mike McCarthy. If they go to Frisco, especially if they go to Frisco and get embarrassed, If Frisco gets right against them, somebody might get fired. If you're being honest about it. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and switch it over because I talked myself out of San Francisco. I think Dallas is playing for jobs now.
Yeah,
Honestly, I
and
think
San Francisco.
Dallas.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
even
well, I
though
didn't mean to
Frisco
cut you off.
losing, no, I'm just
Yeah,
saying. Even though Frisco losing right now, I
yeah,
think everybody's safe over there. The D coordinator say, well, he might be safe.
yeah,
I don't know, but Shanahan is safe. If
yeah,
Dallas lose, like I said, man, if you couldn't beat Frisco when they were at full strength, they're beat
hmm
up and broken right now. If you
yeah,
can't go to Frisco and beat them, and then you coming off an embarrassing loss at home to Detroit,
yeah,
we might see this dude gone Monday morning.
yeah, yeah, and
Somebody
it
gonna
could
have
be.
to roll up out of there.
That's right. And then because if you look at the NFC West walk, you got Seattle right now 4-3 leading that division. Where the Cardinals, the Rams, the Niners all got 3 wins, man. You know what I mean? Niners season is far from over. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be a dogfight to win that division, especially if Buffalo loses to Seattle. I mean Buffalo, I'm sorry, excuse me. If Seattle loses to Buffalo, 49ers beat the Cowboys. They tie with Seattle for the division. You know what I'm saying? So that division may be 9 wins, might win the NFC West this year. 49ers got damn lot to play for. Cowboys, hey, the Commanders 5-2. You got the Eagles, then you got the Cowboys at 3-3, Giants 2-5 in that division. Like you said, another loss,
Where your
boy,
pride
it's
at?
gonna be Mike McCarthy might get fired. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna be pissed off. Michael Parsons. He may be hurt still. I don't know what his head is at. Heads can roll, like you say. You lose to a rival like the Niners. Like you said, especially if they get
Again,
blown out with no lifeline at all in this game.
no McCaffrey,
No
no
McCaffrey,
Ayuk,
dude. You
no
should,
Mahomes.
yeah.
Like, it's
I just,
crazy.
I just don't have faith. I think the Cowboys are done, man. I don't know. I think they're in trouble this year, Walt. They got a lot of issues, and I'm not putting it on Dak Prescott. I mean, he's not the
I
only issue
am.
they
He
got.
part of it.
Yeah, he's part
Well,
of
you
it,
know how it is,
but
man. Look at the money. People gonna always tie the money, especially for him. Like the lack of playoff success he's had and the money he just got again. This is second huge contract. The pressure comes with it, and you got the star on your helmet. So
yeah,
people expect you to just carry the team.
yeah,
As unfair as it may be, that's kind of what it is, man. And you the mainstay. You've been there longer than everybody.
yeah. They may make a deal. I mean, what did Niners make a deal and get a receiver? Too, I've heard the Cooper Cup stuff, and I don't know if that. I think the Rams are still in it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think
So
they'll
I think
send him
the
there either. Oh, you talking about the
I don't.
Dallas or you talking about the San
No,
Francisco?
to San Francisco. Yeah, I still
No.
think San Francisco by far they're still in this thing, man. The Cowboys ain't to me. Their record's 3-3, but let's see how many more wins they get the rest of this season, man. That's how I feel about it. So yeah. So
Yep. All right, man. We can get ready to wrap this up. Another great Saturday morning show. Want to thank everybody for joining us. We both agree. Um, we got the Lions winning the game outright, covering that 11 and a half. We both got the over under at the over. We're both in agreement that we expect this to be an offensively explosive game for Detroit. We expect the defense going up against whether it's Mason Rudolph or Will Levis, they're going up against a backup quarterback, a backup NFL caliber quarterback, an offense that just lost their best wide receiver. They just traded their best wide receiver. They can't run the football. They can't pass protect. They can't run block. Although they're better in the run blocking game right now than they are in the pass blocking game, this is also a game where I think our defensive tackles can have one hell of a game. They also had a hell of a game against Minnesota last week. I want to give them credit because I think the local media here and a lot of fans didn't give them their credit because everybody's so hung up on edge rushing right now. Our defensive tackles played a damn good game last week against Minnesota, and I think they're gonna have another damn good game this week against Tennessee. To me, it is like not to be disrespectful, but is the equivalent of a homecoming game where you just played damn good for 2 straight weeks. You beat two NFC opponents. You knocked off an undefeated Minnesota Vikings team. Now you come back home and you have a good time against a team that you should beat. So we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. Hopefully, we'll be back tomorrow night, doing the post game show. If not, we'll be back Monday night to do our
Yeah,
post game show wrap up, and
yeah.
then we'll be later on in the week. Yep.
No, I just wanted to mention one thing, Walt. If the Lions win, Packers win, the Bears would win this week. I think the Bears are playing the Commanders, Packers playing the Jaguars. Vikings lost Thursday, dude. We're gonna have Lions. If it's just as if everybody wins, dude, you have the Lions with 6 wins, Packers with 6 wins, the Bears with 5, the Vikings 5. We are by far the best division in football. Period. You know what I'm saying? It's no even up for debate.
Yeah.
Even the Bears can mollywop some teams out there. I mean, I'm totally on
Well,
the
Caleb
Bears
is getting
train
better with every week.
every week.
Shout out to
Yep,
Caleb Williams too. Caleb is. I like to
balling
see
out
good
there.
competition. I like to see
Yep.
high quality quarterback play, and
Yeah.
he's playing a lot better.
Yeah, you imagine, man. You imagine if we get a home playoff game and it's against the Packers or the Bears. It would be just it would be phenomenal, man. And I think I'm just hats off to just I just wanted to put that out there because this is real. Right now, our whole division is in the playoffs. Right now, if the playoffs started today,
What would you
so
rather do? We play Green
yeah,
Bay in the playoffs. Would you rather even though for that to happen, that means we would have to lose some games.
yeah,
We travel to Green Bay and it's minus 10 degrees outside.
yeah,
Not full snow, but it's a little bit of dust on the field.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
not too much where we can't still get out there, run and cut and everything like that. We go to Green Bay in that environment and we
yeah,
beat them.
yeah.
Or we beat them here in
I
front of
would
your
rather
home
be
crowd.
here. Because I don't want to go. Listen, I think that man, that's a really good scenario. I think about the weather. I think about Penny Sewell. I think about Frank Ragnow. I think about Decker. Them guys.
I mean, we're built tough enough to go there and win, though.
We could go to Montgomery. You kidding me? Them guys. I don't fear anybody, but in that situation, we got the perfect team. What I'm getting at is we got the perfect team to go out and beat the Packers in that scenario. But just like the Packers are talented enough, they could beat us at our place too because they got all the speed on offense. Jaden Reed is fantastic. Tucker Kraft. I mean, Josh Jacobs been good. Man, it's gonna be. I think it may come down the lines of the Packers. I just think that they're the 2 best teams, man. That's how I feel about it right
Lions
now.
Packers NFC Championship.
Could be that would be amazing. That would be amazing. So that's
Yep.
all. I mean, yeah. Well, we back tomorrow as long as our schedules permit that. Tomorrow we'll see how everything shakes out. But go Lions. One pride.
Let's wrap this up, everybody. Make sure y'all tune in, watch the game. I know everybody's gonna watch the game tomorrow. And like you said, we'll be back probably tomorrow night. If not, we'll be back Monday to break down the game and then jump into Packer week. Monster game. That'll be the third monster game in as many of 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So, everybody else, enjoy y'all weekend. Thank you for joining us this Saturday morning as usual. One pride.